Well, hello there, all of you beautiful people, wonderful people.
Hey man, how's it going?
How I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you didn't know, my name is Lafie Bruce, or Sydney if you're nasty, or just trying to be polite. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you're not new here, welcome back. Whether you're new, not new, doesn't matter. I appreciate your beautiful face, and I hope you enjoy today's video. Also, today's wine is still the Sweet Walter Rosé. We are loving it. We are loving it. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram and see the picture that I posted of this one. This is a big boy. So it was a big bottle. So we like that. We love that. So today is Friday. And on Fridays, we feel fine. That's right. It is Feelin' Fine Friday, you guys. If you don't remember my last Feelin' Fine Friday, which I will link up there, I actually talked about a new Netflix docuseries that I watched called Murder Among the Mormons and just kind of gave a rundown of the series and my thoughts on it. Now, in today's Feelin' Fine Friday, it actually rings back to something I talked about before in another Feelin' Fine Friday, not last week's. Totally not related to murder or anything like that. I actually did a Feelin' Fine Friday, which I will also link up here just for reference if you want to go watch it, where I talked about YouTube channels that call out scammers and fake gurus. I list a bunch of channels in that video of people who talk about these gurus and these scammers and why, they're not legit or why what they're selling you isn't legit and all those things. So you can go check out that video and you can definitely check out the channels that I linked down below in that description. And while today does not relate to calling out scammers or fake gurus, it goes back to that video for one particular reason. I mentioned a channel by the name of CoffeeZilla. And shortly before I made that video, CoffeeZilla actually uploaded a video where he did an interview with a guy named Quincy Larson. Now, Quincy Larson, if you didn't know, runs a website called freecodecamp.org.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
And I wanted to talk about that today because I actually signed up for it and I've actually started to learn how to code, and I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on the process so far and how I've been enjoying it, and even discuss a little bit on why I learned to code. So I've actually been interested in the idea of learning how to code and learning more of like the high-tech side of a lot of different things, just because it's so useful in today's technology-based world. So many companies and businesses rely on IT departments, and they rely on people to create websites, people to create these tools or these systems that they need. And so learning how to code and knowing how to code is, I feel personally, super beneficial no matter what field you want to go into. It's such a useful skill, and I've been thinking about it for a really long time, but I just never really knew where or how to get started. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this today. So I watched this interview with CoffeeZilla and this Quincy Larson guy, and it definitely piqued my interest. So if you don't know, Free Code Camp is basically a go at your own pace, learn from home coding site. So it's got an Insight code editor, and it basically gives you a breakdown of different pieces of different lessons, and then it basically gives you a test on putting in place what you practiced. From everything that I've read, because I did look this up before I signed up on it, from everything I've read, sorry, my armpits are itchy. It seemed like it was really, really great for beginners. So I figured, screw it, I'm going to try it out. So I signed up, and you don't have to pay for it. And that was one of the big selling points with the CoffeeZilla interview that Quincy did, was that he was basically saying, like, I make money from being a coder, and I make money from running this site purely through donations, so I don't need to charge people. I'm not going to charge people for this knowledge, right? So that was a big kind of selling point for me, because, listen, I get that sometimes you're going to need to pay to learn a new skill. That's not necessarily a bad thing to charge for knowledge. But if somebody's gonna offer it up for free, I'm going to look into it if it's something that interests me. And as a pure 100% beginner, what I have to say is it makes it very, very easy to do. It makes it really easy, and it gives you a breakdown. So it makes it very easy to understand as far as what you're doing. My only gripe, and this is my own personal gripe, I think plenty of other people could get past this, or this may not inhibit their own learning. I just wish that there was more of the why, and like an overall general view of like, what is this kind of coding and what is this used for. I'm just the type of person where if I know why I'm doing something, I can understand it just a little bit better. It's not necessary for a lot of people, so I don't want that to scare anybody away, but for just my own personal preferences, I like to know the why of what I'm doing, and how it all works. That just kind of makes it stick in my head a little bit better. But as far as the actual physical coding part of it, it's great. I know I pretty much can get a handle on what to do pretty quickly. I haven't had to take too many hints and look at too many people helping out others in like the forums and stuff, which is also another thing that I love about the site, is that you have like a forum. So if you like sign up and you're registered and you're signed in with an email address and everything, you can actually go into these forums and you can ask for help. You can discuss certain topics with other people. And I like that there's like a community there that makes it really, really neat. In terms of where I am in the program, if you will, I am currently learning CSS, which, oh my gosh, hold on, I have to try and remember what that stands for. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it's generally used with HTML, not solely used, but generally used with HTML, which stands for Hypertext. Oh God. Oh God. HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Yes, I looked them both up. I'm sorry. I'm failing. Cascading Style Sheets, or CSS, is generally used with HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And CSS is generally used to kind of style your fonts, your colors, your basically like what the HTML code comes out looking like, right? It's more of the prettying up of your HTML, if you will. And HTML, if you don't know, is basically the front end coding mainly for websites. I have not delved into anything deeper than that yet, so I'm still relatively pretty early on in it. I've been trying to do it a little bit every night, but with YouTube and school and all that jazz, it's been a little, much to do it every night. So I'm basically I've been doing it on nights where I don't have much else to do, you know? And like I said, I have been enjoying it. Now, I've been taking notes. I actually got a notebook specifically for doing this. So I just got like a standard like 3-subject notebook, and I'm like marking it off with what I'm learning where. If you can't, I don't know if you can like see the writing or anything. I've been taking notes as I go and like writing stuff down and like writing out some bits of the code that I know I'm gonna have trouble remembering. So that's been helpful. But once again, that's also a me thing. You don't have to do that. You can always just go for it, right? But I like to take notes because I like to make sure that I can go back and reference things later because I'm an idiot who tends to forget things pretty quickly. But I wanted to talk about this mainly just because I think it's a really nice resource. There are definitely other free coding websites, I believe, out there that are probably also well reviewed. This is just the one that I was exposed to through CoffeeZilla's channel and the interview that he did with Quincy Larson, which is fascinating. I will link that down below, by the way, if you guys want to go watch that. I like it. You don't have to. I know some people might find this video to be a little bit boring just because coding isn't a sexy topic, you know? But I think it's one that is important. It's one that I've wanted to learn, so I decided, why not? This is free. It's got really good reviews, and like I said, I think coding is going to be, or is, not even going to be, it is such a it would be such a nice tool to have in your arsenal. You know what I mean? It's like, even if you didn't go to school for it, it is something that you can at least say you have some basic knowledge in doing. I think that it's a good resource to use on its own, but I also think that if you're going to use other resources, it doesn't hurt to have a base knowledge of what you're doing at that point in time. And it's a good resource to use because it's free. So if you do intend on using a resource that you have to pay money towards, it's nice because you can use this and not have to pay for it, and you can use a paid resource as well, and save yourself a little bit of money instead of having to use multiple paid resources. I thought this was an interesting topic. I wanted to share it with you guys. Don't know if any of you will really care. Some of you will be like, okay, Sydney, great, love it, awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today on this little ramble. Once again, I will link CoffeeZilla's interview with Quincy Larson down below. And I will also link to the site itself if you would like to go check out the site. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys want to learn coding? Do you think it's cool that there's a free resource out there for people who do? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. Give it a little likey like there. That way I know to keep doing what I'm doing. If you want to see more content like this from moi, hit that subscribe button and that bell so that you can be notified anytime I upload, whether it be more gameplay or more Feelin' Fun Fridays where I just talk about fun, interesting topics in my life like this. But anyways, I appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful rest of your day, week, month, whatever, whenever you're watching this. And I will see you when I upload again. Bye!